Hi everyone, I'm Clem. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing my favorite video of the year because I will be doing the mid-year book freakout tag, and I'm sure if you've been on booktube for a while you know what this tag is about. It's basically a time where we take time to look back on what books we've read so far and tell you what are our favorites, what are the ones we really need to read. Basically, it's a time where you realize you haven't read any of the books you wanted to read in January and you're freaking out. So the first question is, what is your best book so far? And honestly, I can't pick just one for this because I have two that are like, it's a tie and I can't decide. The first one is definitely Sheets by Brenna Thumler. This is a graphic novel about a friendship between Marjorie, a teen who has to take care of a family's laundromat when they're like near bankruptcy, and Wilson, Wendell, the ghost who just escaped Ghostland because it was super sad and he didn't fit in this world, and they're going to meet, they're going to help each other out, and it's going to be a super friendship. This book was super cute. I loved it so much. And the second one is Malibu Rising by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I never know how to pronounce the name, but I'm currently reading this. I have like 100 pages left, and I know in my bones that this book is going to be one of my favorite of the year. Like, I think it's going to be in my top 3 of my favorite book of the year. It's so good. Like, I was talking about this with one of my friends. Nothing is really happening. Like, it's not action-packed because you're following those 4 siblings through one of the worst nights of their lives, and you're going into the past to discover what happened to their parents. It's like a huge family affair, and so good. The writing is amazing, the mood is amazing. It's happening in the early 80s. I loved it so much. I love it so much. Like, it has to be one of my best books so far. Next is best sequel you've read so far, and here I have a problem because most of the books I've read, like a lot of them were sequels because I'm trying to finish series that I started, so I had to read sequels. And so many of them were good, like really good. But I'm going to like force myself to just pick one. Okay, I think I'm going to go with Thunderhead by Neil Shusterman. So this is the second book in the Arc of Scythe trilogy, and I picked it because in the first book, so in Scythe, you're really learning how it is to be a Scythe and how the Scythe system works and how they are the one in charge to kill people and how they're killing them, and the whole like hierarchy. Did I forgot to say this word in English? No. And the whole like organization of the Scythe word. I really liked it. And so when I started the second one, I wondered how like what was actually going to happen and how they would like make the transition between discovering something and really being part of the words like the Scythe. And they did it, I mean he did it very well. Like, I really liked it. It was action-packed, so many plot twists, so many cliffhangers at some point, because at some point like you ended a chapter and you didn't see this point of view for like 3 or 4 chapters and you were like can I know what just happened there? So I really liked it, and the ending was one of the best ending I've read so far this year. Amazing. I was shocked. Shook is when we say that in French. And I really liked it. It was amazing. Next is a new release you haven't read yet but really want to. And here once again I have 2 books. The first one is Pride and Premeditation by Tiraz Price. This is a retelling of Pride and Prejudice, but it is set in high school and between 2 teens who are going to team up to solve a case, like a crime case, and Lizzie is a wannabe lawyer, and Darcy is from a family of lawyers and he's going to feel superior. We know it, but Pride and Prejudice is my favorite book of all time, so I had to buy it and I can't wait to read it. The second one is House of Hollow by Crystal Shutterland. This is an horror YA book. It's really weird, like the synopsis is really weird because it's the story of those two sisters who have marks on their body but they don't remember it, like it's from their childhood but they can't remember it. And one day the sister of the main character, like the sister of the sister we're following, is missing. They found a body in a ceiling. Weird men are starting to appear, and actually the main character is going to go on a quest, not really a quest, but go to find the sister, and she's going to learn a lot about her past and those marks and a lot of secrets that her family hid from her. And I'm super excited. I'm keeping this one for Halloween, but I can't wait. Next question is, what are the new releases you're excited for the second half of the year? And so I took my trusty reading journal, and there are some sequels that I'm really excited about. So we have The Last Graduate, and this is the second book in the new series by Naomi Novik, A Deadly Education. I haven't read A Deadly Education, but I'm still excited for this one. I'm also excited for Our Violent Ends. This is the sequel to These Violent Delights by Chloe Gong, and there is also the final book in the Camelot Rising series by Kirsten White, and this is called the Excalibur Curse, and I'm super excited because this is an amazing series and I want to know how it's going to end. And also there's a lot of contemporaries that I'm waiting for, standalones, but you will get a video about that soon, so I'm not going to go into too much details now. The next question is, what is your biggest disappointment so far? And I'm going to pick what's the name again, King's Bane by Claire Legrand. This is the second book in the Imperium trilogy. The first book was Furyborn and I loved it. I read it last summer and I finished it. I started it last summer and I finished it like in December. I really liked it. I loved the concept, like, because it's the story of those two girls, and you know that one is destined to be the Blood Queen and she's the queen who will hand the world, and the other one is the Sun Queen and she's the one who's going to save them all. And like they're thousands of years apart, but you're following their two like stories and how they intertwine, and who is going to be the Blood Queen, who is going to be the Sun Queen. Loved it. But the second one, I haven't even finished it yet. Like, I have 100 pages left to read and I can't find the strength to do it because it's so, like, you see, it's exactly like Scythe and Thunderhead, like, because it's the same story, but the two books are so different that it can be hard to link them. Neil Shusterman did it well, but Claire Legrand, it was not a success for me. Like, I don't feel connected to any of the characters. I don't like them. I don't care what happens to them. Most of their problems, like even all of their problems, could be solved if they just talk to each other. And I'm like reading and I'm mad and I don't want to read it because I don't care. So yes, it was a huge letdown. Next we have biggest surprise, and here again I have to, wait, let me take it. Talk About Cheats by Brenna Thumler. Really, when I picked it, I thought it was going to be nice and that I was going to like it, but I didn't expect it to like it that much, not even like it, love it. This became one of my favorite books of all time. Like, I can't explain to you how I felt when I read this book, but I'm in love and I will be in love forever. Next is, what is your new favorite author? It can be either a debut author or an author that is new to you, and I don't know now. So actually I'm going to pick Chloe Gong. Like, if I could, I would have picked Taylor Jenkins Reid, but I already knew her. So I'm going to pick her because I really enjoyed the writing style and I love the world building and the character building she did in this one. How she went from the classic Romeo and Juliet and how she made something completely new, because in this one it's not really Romeo and Juliet. Like, it's not. It's like, if you know Spider-Man, there is the origin story and there are the other movies, and this one is like not the original story of Romeo and Juliet, and I like that. because I'm a huge fan of Romeo and Juliet and I've read so many retellings, but it was so nice for once that it's not about them falling in love and meeting and like killing each other, you know. So I really liked it and I'm going to keep reading her works. Next is your newest fictional crush, and do I have one? I mean, like, I just looked throughout the books I've read and there's nothing new, like, because I've read the last book in the Grishavas and I'm still in love with Nikolai and the Darkling. I've read the Tour and I think I have a little crush for one of the characters, but that's not new. In This Violent Delight, I could have a little crush on Roma or like this version of Benvolio because I like him. In Camelot, I'm still in love with two characters and I can't choose. In Chain of Iron, still in love with the same characters. Like, if I were Cordelia, I would be so screwed because I wouldn't know which one to pick. I've read Anne of Green Gable and of course I'm in love with Gilbert. So no, nothing new. I just keep reading about the same man. Next is your newest favorite character, and now we're talking so many of them. So I love the baby sister Kit in this one. I love her so much. It's super interesting. Who else do we have? Come on. Still love Cordelia with all my heart. I love Juliet from This Violent Delight. She's amazing. In the Tour already have them. This is a good one. Wait. In the second book, in the Camelot Rising, you have Lancelot, but in this one, in this retelling, Lancelot is a girl, and in the second book we see more of her, and I love her so much. Like, I want to wrap her in bubble paper to protect her from everything in the world, even though I'm sure she would be the one to protect me because she's a knight and she's super badass. But she's so precious and I love her so much. Next you have Pick a Book That Made You Cry, and I'm going to pick Pax by Sarah Pennypacker, because the first page I read, I cried, because this book, it's a children's book about a boy who has to abandon his pet fox because it's the war. And so the first page is him abandoning his fox. Fox are my favorite animals, like foxes are my favorite animal, it's better. And it made me so sad that I started reading, I cried, I closed it, and then I said, I'm not going to read that now. Because I knew I was going to get so emotional, and I did, because this book broke my heart. And there's the second one coming out this year and I can't wait for it to break my heart too. But yeah, really cute. If you have a chance to read it, just read it. It's a beautiful story, like really amazing. Next I have to pick a book that made me happy, and I'm going with Anne of Green Gable by Lucy Maud Montgomery. I've read this book just because last year at the end of the year I've binge watched Anne with an E on Netflix, and I fell in love with the story, and so my sister bought me the book, and it made me happy because I was so happy to be reunited with my favorite characters, and I was so happy to read about the love story between Anne and Gilbert, because it's a enemies to lover relationship, and so every time they interacted I was like, you're going to fall in love and you're going to be cute. So yeah, it really made me happy and made me smile like this all the time. Like, I was reading it in the public transport and I was like, I love them. I look so dumb, but it was worth it. Now, what is the most beautiful book you got this year or received this year? And I have to go with Anne of Avonlea by Lucy Maud Montgomery. So this is the second book in the Anne of Green Gable series. And I have to pick it because this is a new French version they decided to release. Like, it's a hardcover, it's painted on it. You see, we have some gold letters, and just look at the artwork. Isn't it beautiful? Like, it's all over it. Here you have a quote from the book. It's just so beautiful. Like, I love it so much. So yeah, I can't wait to get the rest of the series because I'm sure they're going to be stunning. Next is, what books do you need to read by the end of the year? Once again, I'm not going to go into too much details because next week we're going to get that. So I don't want to do like to repeat myself, but among the books I really need to read are basically all the series I've started. So for example, we have the Renegade trilogy by Marissa Meyer. We have the Reader trilogy by Tracy Chee. We have also like The Witcher that I really need to read. I also would like to finish reading, wait, where is it? I can't find it right now. Yeah, the last book in the Magnus Chase trilogy by Rick Riordan, like this need to be done. So basically all the series I've started, and as I told you, I will tell you more next week. And last but not least, what was your favorite book to movie adaptation you've seen this year? And I'm not sure I've seen any book adaptation. Wait, let me check. Oh no, I don't have to check. I haven't read the book, so I don't know if it counts, but I think it's the only book to movie adaptation I've seen this year, and it's Moxie. Like, this book, like, I should have read this book because I remember when it came out I wanted to read it because I was in my huge feminism like phase, like not phase, but it was like me discovering feminism, and so I was really into it and I'm still into it, but really at that time I was hardcore. Like, I talk only about that. I was super interested by everything. That's what I mean when I say hardcore, okay? Not like anything else. Anyway, I'm going to stop. So I really liked it, and I feel like people were pretty much happy with the adaptation. So that's the only one I've seen, and I'm going to keep this answer because I haven't seen anything else. So yeah. So everyone, I'm going to stop here now. I hope you liked this video. If you did, don't forget to like this video. Also, if you want to do this tag and you don't know, then boom, I tagged you if you want. I'm going to leave a question in the description box if you want to do it. And I will see you next time. Bye everyone!